Good evening, Town of Southborough Tricentennial Committee is now in process. It's Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. First item on the agenda is for the sake of our volunteer, Kate, we are going to start with the update on the house tour with Kate Battles. Hi, Kate.
Don, how are you? Hi, everybody. I'm Kate Battles. Quick little background for some people. In 2019, with a neighbor, I hosted a holiday house tour, and and Patty and I worked very closely on that. So, I can blame her for the reason I'm doing this.
That's why she was recruited to.
No, it's great.
I told her it didn't need to be a fundraiser.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So we have a nice group of volunteers. We've had a couple of meetings. At our last meeting, we came up with a date that we hope you guys will agree on. We debated some dates between June and September. Everything from debating about scheduling, school schedules like in June versus September. Not that that is our only demographic, but we wanted to keep that in mind. The same with holidays and certainly weather, because this isn't really an event that we can have a rain date for. So we did ultimately decide that we thought September 18th of 2027 was going to be an ideal date. We thought that, and based on this September, the weather does tend to be in our favor in September. And then we just thought with a large part of the town often going away for the summer, people might be a little bit more eager in September to attend a community event. Sometimes in June, the burnout is real. So that is the first thing we wanted to run by you all is see if you want to approve that date, vote on that date. I have a meeting next week. I will say one other thing that we did debate was having when I hosted it, it was traditionally just a holiday house tour because we held it right around Thanksgiving. We had toyed with the idea of also having gardens on the tour. Between June and September, it was actually kind of a challenge to figure that out, and with a rain date, we did decide to sort of stick with it just being the Tricentennial House Tour, with the caveat that we have a couple of local businesses in town, some new, some like Albankians with a long history in the town that we would like to engage with and see if we would add them as sort of stops on the tour where people would be able to see one business we know she does out of her home. So that would work. And then a couple of the other businesses in town to give people also an opportunity to support that local business as well. So at this point, we're hoping for September 18th, 2027, and having it be the Tricentennial House Tour. And we would do it from, that's a Saturday, and we would do it from 12 to 3. When I originally did the house tour, we did it from 12 to 4. And with our homeowners, everybody felt like it was about an hour too long. So we thought that was going to be the right time frame. Our goal is also to have between 10 and 12 properties on the tour. I'm trying to think if I'm leaving anything out. Just a question.
Would the event be ticketed with a cost or just ticketed with reservations?
So that's sort of up for debate because when I had originally done it, of course, it was a fundraiser. So
yeah, so I think that what we had discussed earlier, recommended and discussed with that working group of volunteers, is that it does need to be ticketed because we have to limit the people.
Yes.
And we have to limit the entrance of the homes. Like it'll be set up so that when you get your ticket, you're given a suggested route. So if there's 1 to 12 houses, you're starting on 1, other Michelle is starting on 3, etc. So we do have to limit the tickets because of how many people can show up at one house. But because we're not deeming this as a fundraiser, it's going to be at a very affordable ticket price.
Yeah. But we will limit the number. When we originally did it, We did have about 250 participants and a lot of other interested people. And because we had the route sort of start at different spots, we didn't actually have any crowding, bottlenecks, anything like that. So we have sort of a number in mind that we think will work, but that can be something we discuss down the road a little bit.
I have one question. I don't have my calendar with me for the events. When was the parade, Dawn?
That's October.
October.
The week, the Sunday before, and normally. I don't, I mean, I can pull up the calendar, but
That'd be
I think
great.
we were talking September because we didn't have anything
Yeah.
specific
Okay.
for June or September.
Right, that was my
You're kind of
understanding
holding it
is
for that.
that those were sort of the months that ideally you guys wanted us to work with was June or September, just based on your other calendar of events.
So maybe you could just spend, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I thought, I don't know. I just thought September wasn't that the music festival too? But I guess we don't
No,
know.
well.
I
can update you
he's
on
Okay.
Talking
discussions
about
around that.
August.
Okay.
For that.
All right.
Why don't you just talk maybe about the selection of homes that you're hoping for?
Sure. So like I said, our goal is to have about 10 to 12 properties. Our hope is for next week to get together and start brainstorming those. Based on my experience doing it the first time, it is, and I've expressed it to our working group as well, it's very important that we make sure that it's very well represented. Of course, we would love to have some historical homes, but we would also enjoy having contemporary homes, small homes, medium, large, whichever, and making sure that we very accurately represent the entire town, the geography of the entire town. So we will work very hard on that. We will be very diligent in making sure that all areas are well represented. And we will certainly look forward to feedback. And if people have suggestions, please reach out.
She's also working with some restrictions on
Yeah.
homes, such as parking.
Yes.
Because we have
Yes.
to be able to provide parking for a number of cars, easily accessible parking
Mhm.
near that house. So that limits how busy of a road
Sure.
we're looking.
It does. It does.
So should we email you with some suggestions?
Absolutely. Yep. I would love that. That would be great. So that is something that we will talk about. I know, great street.
No, I was thinking of the Choate House. I don't know how we can get access to that, but that is gorgeous piece of
Yeah,
property.
yeah. No, so yes, what I've told people in our working group is that we'll brainstorm, we'll even approach homeowners. And then we will come back as a group and make sure that even with our commitments, that it's a well-rounded display of homes. That's really is important. And I think we hit on that pretty well the first time. So that
Did a
will
great
be,
job.
that will be important to us.
I'm on the some kind of a website here, the holidays in September of 2027.
Mhm.
And fortunately, let's see, September. 4th is World Beard Day.
But is there anything on the 18th?
And Labor Day is the only federal holiday. And this is showing, let's see, on the 18th, there are some conflicts. National First Love Day, Locate an Old Friend Day, National Cheeseburger Day, National Cleanup Day, International Eat an Apple Day, International Coastal Cleanup Day, International Equal Pay Day, Air Force Day, National Gymnastics Day, Big Whopper Liar Day, Other Greeting Card Writer Day,
I question this
Batman
first.
Day,
Yeah.
Oktoberfest. Now, the 19th is important,
We have some.
Wife Appreciation Day. So it looks
We have
like we're all.
some
We're set.
that's
Well, so one other thing I will say we did the first time around, but we are gonna make sure we do this time around, excuse me, is we had a lot of local businesses would make different donations and then they got to advertise their business as well. So I've already said to our group that we'll make sure that every property on the tour has a bouquet or a wreath or perhaps something edible from a local person. And Dawn, it could be apples or cheeseburgers, and then we can honor those days as well,
That's
right?
nice-
You
nice
with me?
time,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I'm on
That's a
it.
great idea.
I'm on it.
Any other questions or comments for Kate? How about compliments? No, we don't have enough time.
I'm very excited to have Kate on board spearheading this. Delegation is
It is a great thing. Yes, I know. I had a pleasure. Patty and I had a great time working on it the first time, so I know she's a great resource, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot. Michelle, yeah, it was great. So
and we'll be meeting a whole lot of volunteers.
we will for day of. Yes, we will definitely. So
Can you just talk a minute about?
yeah, so
the
what
volunteers
we
that are
do,
gonna
and we have a letter ready to go that we will give to potential homeowners, sort of describing what the expectations will be. And it's a lot simpler and a lot easier than when we did the holiday tour, because that involved lots of decorating. And this is just about your beautiful home and property. And so we have that kind of information ready to go that I'll give to potential homeowners, that will let them know that we can limit the access, however much of the home they want to show. We had properties the first time around that were happy to go from floor to ceiling, and other people that just really wanted people to go through the main part of their home. Not a problem. Depending on the homeowner, we'll make sure that there's a volunteer, at least 1 to 2 volunteers, to sort of be there to facilitate, accepting your ticket, checking you in, and just making sure that people are being respectful of that home. And that was great. We had 2 in every home. There were some people, I remember that we had one that was fine with just 1. We had most of the homeowners wanted to stay. We had a couple homeowners that wanted to go on the tour. So I think there was a nice trust relationship. We had lovely volunteers, a lot of whom, I'll call on again. But that is certainly further down the road. But I think it made it very seamless and very respectful. We didn't really get complaints. We did ask a lot of people. We had people taking their shoes off. We provided tote bags for them to put their shoes in. I think this year, this time, one of the realtors that is on the working group has already said that they would probably donate, the little booties that you can put on or something like that. So we'll take care of that absolutely one way or another as well.
It was very well run the last time, and I've seen what will be again, and it was a huge success.
It was
and a lot
great.
of compliments and very happy people afterwards.
It was fun. It was a really nice experience. So hopefully this one will be also as well attended.
Anything else for Kate?
All right, just one note. Can I make a suggestion that for homes that have pets, that you note that for those that have allergies?
Absolutely. We have those too. So yes, I will. Absolutely.
Allergies or pets.
Yes, I know.
So,
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with September 18th, 2027, putting that on the calendar for the Tricentennial House Tour.
12 to 3 p.m.
Yes, please. Saturday. Yeah, 12 to 3.
Motion's been made
Second it?
and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
All right, great.
What's the count?
So Tricentennial House Tour, will that be the name?
Is that what you want to call it?
Sounds good to me. I'll
So,
talk
yeah.
with the committee about it. So we have a meeting next week, and then reach out anytime and you guys.
When will you be able to come back and report to us on houses that you have?
That depends. So next week, the goal is to sort of brainstorm the list. And then we have to reach out to people, and shockingly, it does take a little convincing sometimes. So as soon as I have a comprehensive list or if there's enough for me to talk about, I'm more than happy to come back and give you an update.
Maybe in the first quarter of next year?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's gonna take us a little bit. So like I said, we'll meet next week. We probably won't meet then again until January. And so hopefully by then we'll have a little bit of progress. We already have one business garden that has committed, so hopefully it will move pretty quickly. And because we have a nice group that everybody's gonna reach out to. All the potential homeowners, so. Great, nice, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Kate.
thanks guys, thanks for having me. Enjoy.
Feel free to stick around.
Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is to welcome the new committee member, Linda Falcone. Welcome.
Welcome, Janie.
That happened already, okay, thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is committee volunteer interview. Eric Eng. Eric, good evening. Thanks for coming.
Hello,
Hello.
Briefly, who you are, what you're interested in, as far as being on the committee.
sure. So Southborough resident for 33 years, over on Ashley Road, and easiest way for people who don't know where that is, it's near where the Belty Callaway's used to be. For people who've been here a long time, but yeah, I'm mostly retired. I work a few hours a week, and want to find some place to put my voluminous energy. That's the phrase I was trying to think of. And help some good causes out. So that's what causes me to be interested. In terms of my background, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've founded, built and sold 4 companies, so I can organize things and figure stuff out and figure out how to get things done pretty well. And been, entrepreneurial pretty much, well, 80% of my career, I'd say. So I just sort of enjoy small organizations and making things happen. Marketing and sales are particular skills. In terms of my background as well, good with technology. Not necessarily your AV guy, by the way, that's a different kind of technology, but and that's a little bit. I have 3 children, married, children, and my youngest is 29. So, how it goes is when they get that old, they need your help a lot less often, but when they do, it's a lot more important to you. So the sort of mental energy is about the same. That's a little bit about me. Happy to tell you anything more that you're interested in knowing.
Open it up. Who's first?
So the way that we kind of have been working this is that everybody on a committee is spearheading or, kind of leading at least one of these events, because we're trying to do one a month for the entire year, one
Right.
plus a month. So, sometimes we're not intimately involved, like mine is the house chore and Kate is really handling it. But is there anything in particular that you've heard that we're trying to do that year that you would be interested in being involved in?
So I've had just one conversation with Don so far, and looked at the website, of course. But I could probably help in some way with the fundraising side of things. To the degree, however you want to.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up, because fundraising is a separate entity here.
Yeah,
I know that the fundraising committee would love to have you, but technically it's a separation between
Yeah.
this committee and the fundraising committee, which is under the auspices of a 501c3.
Right.
So they are actively recruiting volunteers as well,
right.
but that is separate from, we're here to spend the money, not raise them.
So on that side of things, marketing is also a particular
Yeah.
strength. So, and that might be something more applicable to this committee.
And to have it right, your wife is Beth,
Beth Dell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who was instrumental in the Tricentennial Committee having access to Bloomerang for the next 3 years.
Yeah, so
Which is
she's
great,
chairman of Southborough Community Funds.
which is, that's huge for us, but
Yeah, it's good.
I think that's it.
Anybody else? Questions, comments?
Sounds like we could use some of your energy,
Yes,
enthusiasm.
yeah, I get going early in the day and keep going pretty much throughout.
That's good.
Any other questions, comments? Then we'll entertain a motion that we recommend that the select board appoint Aaron.
So moved.
Motion's been made
A second.
and seconded. All in favor? 6-0. No, 5-0, still 5-0. Okay.
Uh-oh, looks like I messed up.
Careful what you ask for.
Yeah, exactly.
You gonna
Oh,
stick
and I also have
around
a
here?
dry sense of humor, so that's,
You gonna stick around for a while?
sure.
Oh, good. Okay, next item on the agenda is Juliana Perez. Juliana, is that you down there?
Yes, it's me.
Why don't you come up a little bit and
Sure.
tell us why you're here. Juliana reached out to me only because I guess my name's on the website. And we've had a couple of conversations and emails, which I sent along to our each of you on the committee. And you play the flute.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually brought it. Yeah, just in case.
So tell us what your ideas are, or why you wanted to be here with us in the Tricentennial.
That's a good question. So, I've been living in Southborough for the past 3 years. We purchased a property in Oak Hill Road. And, I moved here being very much pregnant, give birth, and I've been busy, right? Right now I'm not that much busy, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna go back to do some art around town. And this was very interesting because I started to search for the music, local music. I started to search, is there any community orchestra? Is there any art center? Is there any, I don't know, what's the music of Southborough sounds like? So that brought me to reach out to the Historical Society. I'm still waiting for what they can find in the archives.
Yeah.
And then search in the library. I got the book Fences of Stone, and then started to search in there. I saw there was a lot of military background, which I can imagine there is a lot of marches somewhere. Should be those marches. Should be hymns somewhere, right? Because of the background. And I saw so many prominent families of Southborough, and should be some history of ladies playing harpsichord, harp, or piano or something in their living rooms, as it was the custom, right? So I'm trying to find that music. I realized it takes more than what I thought, and I applied to a grant for the Massachusetts Cultural Council for the local grant. And the committee for the local grant said, okay, if you're planning to do this concert, either library or, because I always like to test it, a concept. So I said library towards the Tricentennial. And they said, you need a letter from the committee. So then you get granted the grant. So I applied. And my hopes were like apply to go out and get the music, because it takes so much work because it's not in one place. There have been some historical work done in Southborough. However, it had not been around the arts. I'm not saying that it's not easily accessible. I cannot just go and grab a book. And I've been getting hints of maybe a little bit more Marlborough, maybe in the split, something got there, stay there. So it's like it has been a little bit challenging. And I would like the support just to be able to find the music. I would like to put together a concert. I would like to showcase the music of Southborough. It should be, I know it should be somewhere. If there is military history, if so many prominent families, it should be composers. Now, I believe those should be somewhere in some personal library, not public library. So it requires some networking. Reach out to some people, to some families, and get something done. It's we call it musicology work, because it's part history, part music, and it requires certain touch to get to these archives. So yeah, that's my proposal. I also shared with you a video. That's something I did for the city I grew up in, which is in a city in the Andes in Latin America. So I did this video to kind of show where I come from, and also how the music where I come from sounds like. And my hopes are like in here in Southborough. Now that my kids are 4 and 2, I'm actually right now expecting Turkey. My hopes are, thank you. My hopes are like to be able to find somewhat music of the place they're growing up. I moved here because school seemed to be good, and the water and so many good things. So my hopes are to find this music. I also brought the food in case you want to see me playing. Never know, but you got the video. You got to see me playing. And I'm a professional musician. I play in orchestras for 13 years plus, chamber music. And I'm also an attorney, recently graduated from Boston College, Master of Laws.
Busy lady.
Yeah, I don't know, kind of brain and science,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love it. I love the music. I love the law, and I hope to just be able to do some research and find the music of Southborough and showcase it in any way possible.
So
That's it.
Juliana, you're looking for a letter from this committee,
Yes, so
and who would the letter go to?
it will go to, I have it on my phone actually, but it will go to the Massachusetts Cultural Council Southborough Committee. So basically, the Massachusetts Cultural Council has a division that they break their support into towns. One of them is Southborough, and I submitted just a couple thousands to do this research, and they want to grant me this, but I have to submit a letter before November 18. And yeah, I just submit everything they ask for. And I'm not here asking for money or nothing, just the support so I can get the money from MCC and then just apply for this research. And what I hope it's like at some point, once I get the music, it's just kind of like do a call of the local musicians and put people together, like in some building in Southborough, some public building, we can come together with some stands, some chairs, and then just play the music and then just be able to put together the music somewhat of Southborough for a showcase in the library, which I believe is important to first test it. Once you test it, okay, for the Tricentennial, if you would like to have it showcase in there.
Let me ask the committee to, if they have any questions.
Yes.
I think you've very well explained what your goal is.
Thank you.
And if the committee agrees that a letter will help you get there, then you talk about that. So any questions or comments, Patty?
So you're working with the Southborough, the Cultural Arts Council, right?
Well, I submitted the proposal and they got back to me asking for more
But you didn't
evidence.
submit it to the state, you submitted
To the
it to
state.
the,
To the
to the
Massachusetts,
state.
yeah, the Massachusetts Cultural Council, directly the website. I
Yeah.
submitted the grant, I fill out the grant, and I applied for this and I'm in hopes to get it, yeah. Because I never,
understood the funds are allocated to, I mean, there's some funds that come directly from MCC for grants there. But then they have a portion of the funds that are allocated into individual towns and communities. And our local group here in Southborough, it has grants that they give out. But you're not talking about those, you're talking about the MCC grants.
well, that's a good question, because let me tell you, I applied to 2 grants. But the grant that is asking me for this particular letter is the local grant. It's the one for Southborough. I can tell you exactly who is it.
Who was it that sent you?
Who is the person? Who's the
Yeah.
person that gave me his contact? Because I want to be accurate. Okay. Caitlin Hauser, Hausner,
Yes, okay, so she's chair of our local.
the local, yes.
Okay. So, in what round of grant did you apply for? The current, I think the current round of grants closes next month or something, right? So it's,
Yes, but she requires a letter. Please reply before November 18.
right.
with the letter.
So I'll tell you my concern
Okay.
is we're trying to put on a lot of things for 2027.
Yeah.
And part of the strategy of some of those events is going to be applying on behalf of the Tricentennial Committee for grants to things like our cultural council, the Massachusetts Cultural Council, and other places to help support and fund those events.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to understand is this money that is in the 2026 grant cycle, or is this money that's in the 2027 grant cycle?
Oh, no. The current cycle, this year.
So this, when is the money allocated? In February of 2026?
I believe they will. I'm not 100% sure, plus this is recorded, but I believe it's in January next year that I will find out information. I believe it's that one.
Okay, so
Because I applied to two, I'm not 100% certain which one I'm talking about, but this one, it's the local. It was her who asked for the letter, and I was very specific. I said, I'm searching for the music to do a concert in the library to kind of test it to see if I can submit it to a Tricentennial. But she find very important that it gets a letter from this committee to kind of like support the search for the music and the run concert, the concert that needs to be run.
Right. In concept, I mean, I love your idea of tying it into the historical atmosphere, because I think that's great, especially for what we're trying to do for the Tricentennial. And I hope, you know, really that all of our events have some kind of historical connection. So I love the concept. I'm only concerned that
That will remove funds from the committee. I don't
So
think so,
that-
because it's this
right
right now.
So if it is the grant cycle that is now for 2026, I mean, obviously, we're not putting anything into that. So I have no objection to you getting some of that money to help plan an event that is in our favor.
Yeah.
I think that's great. But that's just what I was trying to clarify, because
Yeah.
moving forward, I do expect some of the events that we are planning are going to be looking to get some grant funding.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not even thinking of that. I do think it takes too much time to do a musicology work.
And what is your expectation of timing?
Oh, okay, so my expectation, I believe the first 6 months, have to be reaching out to people, families, all these, I noticed it, for example, like simple things like, there have been generations after generations of people serving in the committees here in town, including the select board. I've seen like 11 times the same last name, right? 8 times the same last
Yeah.
name.
Mm.
So that type of thing. So my first thing will be to reach out to the people. That's
Yeah.
what I saw in the book. In another chapter of the book was like more about the wars and the participation of the wars. So I would like to go towards that. Not necessarily that people is the same that have been serving the town. So I saw different people there. I'm not so sure if they're still around. So I hope to find one of those old mines in town, take a cup of tea and kind of hear about it so I can reach out.
So the culmination of this is for you to reinterpret some of that music or create new.
No new. No, I'm not looking for new music or
So
commission. No.
reinterpret some of that into a concert.
I'm looking to find in the music and create a timeline of whatever I find in private libraries, because the good thing about having long-standing families in the area is that they have really good, amazing private libraries. The bad thing is that they are not public. So
Yeah.
I think it's important to do some good networking to find this music. It's not available.
So what you were talking about doing at the library, what exactly is that?
I think it's important to find a place where some of this music can be showcased in a small scale. It can be a jazz trio, it could be anything else, right? It doesn't have to be a large ensemble. But I think it's important that the community, especially all ages family, can see it and see how they react. Because
And is that something that you feel a 2027 deadline is realistic so that it could be part of our tricentennial celebration?
I think so, because I don't believe it will require to do like musical edition. I don't need to go through the sheets of music and do like a rewriting of anything. It doesn't have to be any edition. It's just grab as is, and then just grab the melody, look the time that was composed, and you kind of know the chords, how it goes. So it's a little bit about that. Create a timeline, create a program, find 7 works to 12 works, and then just showcase.
So conceivably, if you're able to move forward with this project, you could then be working with us to plan something for the year, the
I would love
tricentennial
to.
year that
Yeah.
we could help to promote and feature.
I would love to. Honestly, I would love to find the sound of South.
Mhm.
If I find how Southwest sound like, that would be my goal.
Okay, that's great. Anybody else?
Well, the one thing that I want to contribute is that I've been doing some research trying to pull old photos. So I don't know, I've got a bunch already. And, I'm sure that you need to have photos for your video.
Oh, I would love to.
So.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah.
Hopefully if we get that far, I think that would be great. I think it's
Actually, I
terrific.
want to share the second grant I applied was the individual grant. That is up to 5,000, and I just want to do the video. Again with those facts. It's this year. It's not gonna touch next year's allocation. So yeah, that's what I would love to. Let's see if I get that one. I'm not so sure, but at least let's find the music. I hope so, because it takes time, takes resources. That's great.
Anybody else? I want to get back to the letter. Would you draft the letter that would cover the points that you're trying to sell?
Yes, I can give her a call. She was very kind. She says, hold my phone number, but I didn't do it. I sent her an email. But I will be happy to call her and ask her what are the points that she needs.
Well, we have 6 days, well, 5 days.
Yeah.
Right? So that draft would have to come before, and I guess if no one else wants to edit or review or approve the letter, I don't think we can do that outside of our session, or that we vote to authorize one of us to sign the letter.
I think that sounds like a good plan, pre-authorize the letter.
I'm happy to work with her to draft it, because I do have a little experience with grants and,
It would be helpful if I have somebody in the committee that I can send, hey, what do you
Yeah.
think? And send it back.
because you're looking for a letter that's signed by,
She says, that I need to show that I partner with the related to the Tricentennial Committee. So basically, like I'm showing like steps towards getting something. So she wants to see evidence, kind of like to show that because I told her all the research I have done, all the people I've reached out, but she says it's nice, it's not good enough. So
well, I think if we can tie it into to work on something that will be presented during tricentennial year, really kind of brings it in to tie it in. Yeah.
So then what I would suggest, if the committee's cool with that, would be that Juliana and Patty develop the draft. And then if Patty says it's good to go, then I'll sign it. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Is that okay, Patty?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the vice chair. I could probably sign it as well.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it.
Well, I would expect that we're gonna send it out to, I'll send it to everybody as a BCC, and if you have comments, you can reply.
Well, then we should vote in this public session to have that plan and executed. The public hearing this tonight, if they're interested or object, they would have a couple of days to comment.
The public gets to object.
Yeah, because we're making,
Decision.
we're making a decision here outside of a meeting, unless the decision that we're voting on is what we just talked about, which is draft is prepared, it's shared with the committee, but with the knowledge that hopefully we'll have a vote in a minute, that committee is generally in approval of that letter. And then and within the council, within the four corners of what we talked about. Right, we don't want to add something that we haven't talked about tonight, because then I think we've been drifting away from what we're supposed to be doing for years.
No,
So-
yeah, the letter would be directed to Kate Helsner, Chair of Southborough Cultural Arts Council. That would be for her.
So we should entertain a motion that this committee will send a letter on Julia's idea to, who we sending it to?
No, it's the Southborough Cultural Arts Council,
To the Southborough Cultural
chair of the Southborough.
Arts Council.
Caitlin Helsner.
Generally in support of grant of the grant. On the music of Southborough.
The LCC grant opportunity, specifically LCC.
Actually, if you want to just send me your grant proposal, I'm sure we could take it from there.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
It's best.
Because we wanted the letter to be written in support of how she's written the grant proposal.
All right, so
So the
what I
part
just
that-
said is, if that's considered to be a motion, then all it needs is a second.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any questions, additions, comments relative to the motion? All in favor? 5-0.
Thank you, Juliana. So I'm gonna give you my card. It has my cell phone number and it has my town email address on the back. And you can just email me your grant proposal or work on it. Perfect. I'll take it.
And so the close,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, just take the whole card because it has my cell phone number on the other side.
so to close the loop, committee would then expect to see the results of this by November 18th. In the form of a draft.
No,
Attached
it's
to
due November 18th.
No, do November 18th, so the 17th has to be. With
Okay.
grants have to be the day before.
Let's work on it this weekend and have it finalized to send to everybody. Okay.
Anything else, Juliana? What, do you have like a 1 minute flute?
Yeah.
1 minute.
We all listened to that, your attachment there, and I was pretty impressed. Now the public.
Thank
is.
you.
Although
Thank you.
those emails are public property.
I have to say thank you to my mom that took me to classes.
And what instruments are your children going to study?
Oh my God, I'm not so sure. I think guitars. You know what I want?
Keep them away from drums.
Yes.
Just to be able to grab the guitar and go to the beach. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool. So yeah, I was looking for marches. It's not like speaking about marches. was hoping to find marches like that because of the, the history of Massachusetts, the history of United States. So I was hoping to find something like that.
Oh, you still have 55 seconds. Let's go.
It's gonna find it's called Syrinx or Syrinx in French by the BC French.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah,
And best of luck with the whole idea.
thank you. Yeah, I hope, I hope.
Very
I hope I'll find some young lady in some Southborough family that play something and compose something.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Please
We'll
keep
see.
it posted because we'd love to share, as you go along, you can share your journey on social media too.
Oh, thank you.
We also might be able to help you out with some names of people to talk to.
That would be great.
I
will share
Longtime families and.
follow up email probably next week after we get off the bump of the
Let's
letter.
get the letter out.
Out of the gate.
Are you gonna stay around for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes of October 8th, 2025. Need a motion to approve those minutes?
I'm gonna ask that we postpone that. Out of, I went through it and I had quite a few comments and I actually want to potentially go over that with Joyce or Vanessa first. So out of a matter of time consideration, I would like to postpone this till the next meeting.
Okay,
We have to vote on it.
good. Is that a motion then?
I move that we postpone approval of the meeting minutes from Wednesday, October 8th to our next meeting.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? 5-0. Okay, status of the working groups, additional event suggestions. That would be Michelle.
All right. So I had a few weeks to think about different ideas and ways that I could support Tricentennial. And so I did send out to everybody for different concepts, some that have come to me and some that I'm sort of thinking of freshly to propose. So I'm just going to kind of run through them, starting with the first one, which would be the history in bloom. This is an idea that both Patty and Ginny had developed and already started to talk to the Southborough Gardeners Club. Southborough Gardeners is an organization in town that supports gardening and floral endeavors, and they have a history of doing an art in bloom style event every other year, and the timing would work out very well that they would be having their reoccurring event in April of 2027. They will be meeting this January to sort of set the calendar. And the idea would be that they partner with elementary and middle school art classes to have students create the art. And in the past, there has been maybe a theme, but I think it's been a little bit more open concept. The idea for this project would be that they'd be creating art with some history theme. And then those works would be selected and floral design artists would then be partnered with a piece of art and create a flower arrangement that in some way has a look to the art. This is a very popular style event that happens like everywhere from Museum of Fine Arts all the way to.
And if anybody has gone to the one that they do here at the library in the spring, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, the artwork that like elementary and middle school kids are producing. And second of all, interpretation into, it was really interesting. And there's members that are older that are in the flower, and then there was like kids. It's an intergenerational thing, and I think it's a great idea.
Yes, and so the event plays out, in the past has played out over a weekend, sort of starting Thursday night with a reception gala. And then the works are on display Friday and Saturday, open to the public in the library. And so it is exciting, as Patty was just noting, that, you know, this is a way to involve a lot of different community stakeholders, from the Gardeners Club to the students, to involving the library, potentially the Southborough Cultural Council. And again, it's something that we just have to decide if we wanted to do tickets or sort of keep it in the same format that it's been, just open to the public. So I am a new member of the Southborough Gardeners Club, so I would be very happy to continue to collaborate, you know, and just sort of keep this event on track and usher it through. I'm happy to take on that role if the committee is still interested in pursuing this event, and if that sounds like good timing for the calendar. This would be early April.
Yeah, I would love to keep this on the event, on the calendar. Personally. I mean, so what are we doing? Are we just like, are we gonna vote, or are we just gonna, like, I don't need to see that we need to vote. Like,
Not
she's just
so,
presenting ideas and
Yeah.
then to have the potential to run with them, right? Okay. Great, okay.
My one suggestion is, you know, you said that we're gonna vote on this. I really feel that we need to get things like on a calendar.
I think I already had that one on the calendar,
Okay.
just because it was something I had been looking into for a while now. And was fortunate enough to be able to hand it off to Michelle. Was it in April?
April, yes, so typically the event has been like one of the first weekends in April.
So is there proposed dates do you have?
So there will be, so the Gardeners Club does their programming, they have a special committee, and so they will start to meet in January 2026. So Patty's had conversations with some of the key members. I've followed up with that. Ginny is going to be actually my representative. She was already kind of slated to have a conversation in December, and I can't attend that meeting.
I'm going,
Oh,
you're
going?
staying, yes.
Oh, okay, great. Okay,
We're doing a
That does that.
presentation to the garden club
Yeah.
on the fundraising and the tricentennial.
Perfect. Okay, great.
I mean, in the effort to help
Yeah.
book up the calendar and hold the spot, do you know, can you vote on holding the spot and reserving for a weekend, you know, Thursday through whatever? And then know that by January
I
they'll
mean,
have
we
dates.
could vote that we want to support this event,
Right.
I suppose, right? And we don't, I mean, it's really the garden club is gonna plan it. We're just trying to get them to direct it with a specific emphasis on history of Southborough.
Yeah, yeah, well,
So what's the motion?
I move that we support Michelle pursuing History in Bloom for April of 2027, date TBD, and working with the garden club to make that happen. Second.
Pretty well worded motion.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just.
yeah. Motion's been made. Who seconded it?
Michelle.
Michelle. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Okay, so are we still on the ideas?
We're still on, we have 3 more ideas.
Okay.
I'll go as fast as I can. So the second idea came my way. I have a son at St. Mark's, and I was participating in another meeting when the advancement office learned of that I joined this committee, and got really excited about the idea of somehow participating in the Tricentennial. And so it was presented to me an idea of opening up the campus for guided tours. Current students would lead those tours, and then possibly then the ice skating rink could be open so families could come do a tour, skate at the rink, have hot chocolate, cookies. We would really not be doing anything new at St. Mark's. St. Mark's does campus tours daily as they're touring prospective families. They are also going to be doing similar ice skating parties with the Rotary Club. So to me, that's good that they have the experience of coordinating those two activities. They would be able to highlight, different historic buildings on site such as Belmont Chapel, the Tudor designed main building. There's a beautiful bronze lion statue, and the dining hall, which was most recently featured in the movie The Holdovers. It was suggested doing this on a Sunday afternoon, so there's no conflict with other activities on campus. Potentially February 7th, 21st, or 28th from approximately 1 to 4 p.m. The stakeholders that this would include would be St. Mark's School staff and students, potentially it'd be opened up to alumni to come back and revisit. Obviously, certainly the entire community. If we felt like we wanted to involve other volunteer groups to help with any welcome or refreshment stations, although I think that could still be all student run. We would probably want some timed tickets. Again, I'm not sure that this would be a cost event, but just something to manage how people come and move through the experience. So again, my questions for the committee would be, is this an event that sounds interesting and they'd be interested in pursuing? Do we want to explore those February dates? Would the committee consider sponsoring refreshments such as hot chocolate or cookies for the event? I'm going to throw in one more comment that I didn't have on my notes, but I just want to make sure it's clear that I know that there are very specific channels for working with the independent schools in town. And so I've already started, just letting it be known that even though this came my way, I know that there would be sort of a more formal process to moving this forward. And then my last question is, would we also want to approach Fay School to see if they would be interested in doing something similar? I understand that they do what are called toddler days in the summertime, where they host sort of popsicle parties and open up their playground to families to come and play. And so maybe that's a way to just, again, collaborate with something that already exists, programming that's already there, and then just open it up to then potentially tours. So that's the idea for.
Sounds like a great idea.
So how would the skating party for the Tricentennial be different than the ones they're doing with the Rotary?
I'm not sure that it would be. I think it would be similar. It just would be an activity to do along with going on a tour. Yeah.
And would they kind of direct the tours that day to specifically focus on the architecture and the historic nature? Or is it like, here's a classroom and kind of thing tour?
So they run different types of tours, and so they could make sure that ours is focused on the history, yes, and the historic spots around.
Great.
Yeah.
That would be February.
She has some.
That was a suggested
proposed dates.
timeline, because it would sort of fit into the school schedule, and it wouldn't conflict with any of the school vacation slots. And if we were going to do ice skating, it felt like that was just a good time of year. And I think we have already, it felt like it was an open month on the calendar.
Yes, it is.
What, is everybody cool with that? An
Okay.
idea to pursue?
Okay, I will definitely continue then to more formalize it through the right channels for St. Mark's. Is there the follow-up interest in also collaborating with Fay School to do something that
They don't have an ice skating.
No, but that's why the
Yeah,
toddler
basketball.
time with the,
Right.
with access to the playground, or maybe again, the gyms, opening up the gyms for families to come and play and tour.
Well, they may have a suggestion. too.
They might-
Yeah, I mean, if they had a
Exactly.
suggestion.
Yeah.
I'd like to see something a little different than just something they normally do
Okay,
to open up to
Good job.
people outside of, their community.
Okay,
I mean, this,
More exclusive.
where the tour can be architecturally or historically channeled
Mhm.
is appealing.
yes,
So
yes.
I guess,
Same with Bay School too.
with
Like, I
face
think
school, it
we'd
would
wanna
have to
make
be
sure it'd
something that,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they have
a little-
4 historic buildings that at least I was able to find information about. So they have the 1866 Founder's House, their dining room building from 1923, late 1800s McMaster House, and the 1875 Newton House. So it seems like,
Mhm.
I don't know their campus as well, but it seems like, there's some interesting history there too. So, okay,
Great ideas.
Good.
Thank you.
okay, good.
Idea number 2, now number 3,
Do we need to vote on that to pursue exploring it?
all in favor of exploring that? St. Mark's piece, okay,
And the Fang School?
Right.
Both.
and the faith, 5-0.
Okay. All right, number 3. So this idea, I think I maybe just mentioned it in passing in the last meeting. And I don't know that I quite have the name worked out, but something like the people of Southborough making history today. And I really liked the idea of us connecting with the community to find out who is, either, residents, businesses, schools, volunteer groups, people that are living, engaging, working with the Southborough community who are achieving some form of success in, I think, any field or anything that we might deem making history. So, again, it could be an athlete that's headed to a professional team, or a musician who's publishing music, a business that's making new scientific advancements, a volunteer that's having a huge impact on our community. And so I think in terms of a timeline, we could do some type of announcement to request nominations in 2026. Maybe September 2026 with a deadline of mid-November, and then start to announce recipients in January 2027. And I think there's a lot of opportunities to make this as straightforward or as grand as we would like to, depending on what type of events we end up having. But I think we could definitely recognize recipients over social media and our newsletter. Maybe they're invited to walk in the parade. If we end up doing a gala event, that's a way we can certainly recognize everyone. But I think it helps to bring in a lot of engagement from the community and a lot of different stakeholders, which I think could also be helpful for any potential fundraising efforts, but more importantly, just to really capture what's happening in Southborough right now.
Today.
Mhm.
I think you got some great ideas.
Who would be doing that?
So this is another project that I would develop a working group with. So I, have been continuing to kind of reach out to people that I know and that I'm meeting, and so I would, in the same way that, Kate was the point person, I would be hoping to find a point person for this. For really all these projects, but delegate, yes. Which I think is wonderful too, because it helps to extend the network that are participating in the Tricentennial. So I think really the key to this will be getting word out that we're looking for nominations, and tapping into that.
Michelle, would you make the motion then, please?
Me, Michelle, or her Michelle?
You guys can collaborate.
I think you, Michelle, have to make the
I was
motion.
gonna say, I don't
I
think I
make a
can.
motion.
Original Michelle has to make the
I
the
make-
motion for new Michelle.
One out, it's just you.
So I'm not gonna be as eloquent as Patty, but I make a motion to go forward with the people of Southborough today. And I think that it's a great idea to highlight and to really show the community that lives here every day that we don't know about. A modern history. So I make a motion to go forward with this proposal.
Yeah, I like the idea, I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
5-0, thank you. Anything else on that one, Michelle?
Okay, last one, what I'm calling awareness days. I was trying to think about, again, with our social media and wanting to highlight different, pieces of Southborough over the course of 2027. And, there really would not be particular events around these awareness days. It's really just bringing attention to spotlight different areas. And so some of these concepts could be Legacy Family Day, Trail Day, Golf Course Day, Local Business, Farm Day, Realtors Day, Restaurant Day, Nonprofits, Education Day. I mean, it could really be endless. We can explore and add as many as we want. And so this would play out by highlighting these different entities on our social media or in the newsletter, and then kind of tying it to history. So for example, if we highlighted, current farms, farmland in Southborough now, then bringing in the references of how many farms used to exist and maybe, sharing a map, just kind of connecting those two pieces. Between what's happening now and sort of the history and how it came to be. Maybe this would play out in some way, like if we do, the golf course or golf related businesses, maybe we end up doing a poster at the golf course that day, or maybe they decide to, if we do more merchandise, if we do, branded golf balls, we do a highlight of that at the golf course, things like that. But I think these could easily be spread throughout the calendar, so they don't have to be separate from the events that we're doing. These could run like every other week, something like that. And I think it connects a lot of different stakeholders for businesses and organizations in Southborough. There's obviously no ticketing at all. And the action item is just to know if the committee likes this awareness day idea, and would like to run with it.
My thought on that is I would like to discuss it further, and maybe we could put thoughts together and postpone this one to discuss, with
the list of
less
days.
of time constraints. I'll just throw out to you my concerns.
Sure.
I love the idea of, for example, like talking about the history of, let's talk about the history of a farm that was integral to business development in Southborough. Where is that farm today? Like it's kind of a then and now thing.
Yes.
Where I am, and I think a number of these things could fit in. And I like that concept of tying in history and where we are now with that. Where my concern is that I don't want to step on the toes of our 501c3.
Yeah.
So if we're using our social media and our marketing efforts to promote businesses, we need to make sure that those are the businesses that are supporting the Tricentennial. So I don't know quite how to walk that fine line. Sure. Which is why I'm suggesting that we consider that for a little bit. And I'd also like to talk to the fundraising committee, because when we do promotions of banners and posters and all that, it's going to have sponsors' logos on it. And many of those people have contributed $10, $25, $50,000.
Yeah.
So we can't, I don't feel comfortable necessarily doing a whole day promoting a business that isn't one of those sponsors.
Sure.
So,
and again, so I just think there's a lot of room to decide what the awareness days are, and so it feels like anything business related. It's going to
right,
be a
so that's
conflict.
why I'm saying,
Yeah,
I
we
think
can
that
definitely-
there's room to focus more on things that would be a conflict in that manner.
Sure.
And create those kind of, a focus day on something and tie it into the historic nature of it. And then promote that and market that. I mean, maybe that's something our additional marketing guru, Eric, might want to kind of help
Sure,
work on
Yeah.
that
great.
of figuring some of that out. So
That's,
that's my personal comment, is that I'd like
Yeah.
to table this one for more
Sure.
discussion.
sounds good.
Everyone cool with that? Any more?
Sorry, so just can I, just to kind of understand the timeline of tabling it, so then is there more information that you would like from me or to revisit the proposal for the next meeting?
Maybe we can have a offline discussion.
Okay.
And, then represent at the next meeting or something
That works.
like that. I mean, for the next one after that, I don't know, December, it's gonna be crazy, but
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, just so I know what to do. Thank you.
Any other new, event suggestions? Michelle?
Well, I think that, that you were also supposed to, there is a woman in town, Deb Hoskin, who has done some extensive research of the Burnett history. And she actually is looking to do something for the Tricentennial to present all of her research, to tell to tell her story about the Burnett's. So I'm not sure, if that's something we may be interested in pursuing. But she has the work already done, and she just thought it would be a great, great opportunity to share that information.
Would that be in the form of a specific date, time, event?
No, there's no specific date, time, or event, but
Well, as opposed to posting it on the website. Her work,
she wanted to present.
yeah.
she wants.
And, yeah, so probably something like at the community house or something like that, to have a little evening.
Or the library. I was talking to one of you recently about this kind of idea where, to plan something like on a monthly basis, that smaller groups
History.
and directly related to history. And maybe do that on a quarterly basis. And that fits in perfectly with that idea. I mean, I was thinking you do them at the library, presentation area at the library. Where, you can do slides and there's media stuff versus the community house, which doesn't have any of that access. But I think this fits in perfectly
I
with
thought
that
it was a great
and
idea.
tying it into the history of the family.
Mhm.
I would love to see 3 more of those kind of things, so that there's one at least every quarter.
Okay.
Personally,
What does the rest of the committee think? Is this something that
If
that we
that's,
can just,
yes. Because this goes back to the earliest days of this committee, which was to be inclusive. And if somebody has done some work related to the history of the town, then we should certainly welcome that.
and share it? Yes, I think it's a great idea, because people, I mean, aside from the mansion, don't even, know about the Burnett's and the Choates, and so I think it's a good opportunity to share that knowledge.
So what's the next step with that?
The next step with that is really just to get a date and the venue, because her work is already completed.
So we could
And
pick a,
how about, could she come
Come.
in and just make a very
Okay.
brief presentation
Yes,
at, the December or January or whatever meeting,
okay,
and ask her to kind of give a, idea of what she would talk about, how long it would be, and when she'd like to do it.
okay.
And I think we did also talk about, if you're looking for like another night, or presentation, we talked about maybe stringing together some of those, oral histories.
Oh,
And making
right.
that an evening too. So
Yeah.
that's-
That could be another one of these
Right. the
quarterly
second one.
events.
That could be like the final.
Yeah, I like that idea.
anything else on that? I had one, along with the research that we've done with other towns, there's one town that has they created a legacy tree program where, the town would plant a tree. They listed the type of tree, but I don't think it's, it might be, not the right tree for around here, but, to plant a tree in each of the villages of that town. They have 8 villages, we have 4. So it would seem to me that I think, May is a good month. We've already picked, April for the history and bloom, but we could also put it in April if the arborists recommended that, but we would, with our funds, purchase, hopefully, I know the state tree is an American elm, but anyways, would have a tree planting in each of the 4 villages during a particular month. It could be a second event in a month where we already have another one, but it wouldn't be a big deal. Either the DPW or one of or several of the local landscape companies could dig the hole. The DPW would approve the location, dig the hole, plant it, have a little ceremony, move on.
Do we have municipal property in each, enough municipal property in each of the 4? I mean, you could do it at like a playground or something, right?
Yeah,
Because it would have to be municipal property.
right. Yeah, there's even if it's not like a plot of land, it could be a section of a roadway that isn't paved, and you still have room between the sidewalk or between the property owners, stone wall or whatever, and plant a tree. They planted them along Main Street on the Main Street project. Some of those trees are a little dainty for me, but
Some of them are gone.
yeah. So I think that would be a nice small but event that would be documented, and then future generations would look back at that tree maybe in 100 years and say, this is one of the 300, this is one of the tricentennial trees.
Along with that, Don, would you get like a little bronze plaque or something like that, just to?
Something you could go like down at the base of the tree.
Yeah, there was one at the town common for many decades, and the tree got sick and died, and they took the tree down, and I don't know whatever happened to the plaque, but it was there for a long time.
The Face School has quite a few of those on Middle Road, you know, people have donated trees over the years and they have like little.
Yeah,
Brass
that would be
plated
nice.
ones.
Yeah, maybe we could find people to donate a tree. Or it could be like sponsor a tree.
I think.
Well, we got a
that's
bunch of good
great
ideas.
idea.
Is there
Yes.
any more? I'd be willing to work on the tree thing, see if we could put something together with that. Do you want to pencil that one in for a May event?
What you did.
All right.
On the calendar.
If there's nothing else, we can move on to. Is there anything else? The Community Barbecue and Musical Festival.
But he's sitting here for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I can give you a little update on a couple things that I was working on since our last meeting. And just, I think everybody knows, but just make it clear. I had to resign from the official committee due to my role with the Board of Registrars and some regulations that keep me on a second board. So I'm now a working committee person as opposed to being on the committee itself. I did meet with Travis and Christina in the rec department on October 22nd to just talk about ways we might be able to collaborate on the music festival. They already run summer nights, which has a draw of between 4,000 and 5,000 people. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Travis, but
No, it's about right.
and they've got the logistics down pretty well to handle that many people. So what we talked about was maybe collaborating on that and kind of supersizing it, to use one of Don's terms,
see if we can't, build that into a bigger event, kind of a capstone event for the end of the summer. That's typically run on the third weekend in August, which I think is still the target probably for that year. And there are a number of reasons why they would like to run it at that point. Because I think it's the end, kids are getting ready to go back to school. A lot of vacations have ended, and the weather is typically pretty good. So and then a couple other things around this. One is certainly having music, and my concept is still along the lines of maybe getting some musicians that have a Southbrook connection, then have a headliner type band of some sort, whether it be a cover band or something that would be a little bit better known. But we could do kind of a Southbrook's Got Talent all afternoon into the evening, and cap it off at the end with the headliner band, and there's an opportunity to have fireworks if they're already running the rec department. So we did also talk about having a separate event, but it's can we support two events? And meaning from an attraction standpoint and marketing, and can we get a good dates to do it? And I think we're leaning heavily towards just combining event. As I know I left it with you, Travis, just think it through and make sure that that's something you want to collaborate on.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to the committee ultimately,
Yeah.
but if that's something they wanted to work with us on, then most definitely we'd welcome that idea.
So it would be, if it's supersizing summer night, the last summer night, the end of summer, the summer thing with 4,000 or 5,000 people, it would be a Trotter.
Well, near the same complex, yeah.
Right. And part of that would be band stand with different acts each hour or something like that.
Yeah, we'd have to come up with a schedule,
And then food also, the food trucks. When do the food trucks usually get there?
Like 5. Music usually starts at 6, but if you had multiple groups, you could start that as early as 5 if you wanted to, and then go until the fireworks start at like 8 or 8:30.
Well, I thought Keith, you and I talked about starting at like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, so let me add to this a little bit. I think part of the supersizing part of it would be having a longer event, and also perhaps adding some additional entertainment for families there, and that could be certainly there's food, but maybe there's who knows, maybe we get some jugglers. We had there might be some face painting. There's different things like that, so that people could come, bring a blanket, sit down, listen to music, have something to eat. We might look and see whether the town would allow us to have some kind of a beer garden type thing. And we have to decide how long we want this thing to go, because I don't know if people are going to stay there for 6 hours of music, but have it longer than it currently is today.
But
And-
people could come and go, like.
Yes, they could.
If I wanted to just come the music and, leave when the kids are doing all the later stuff and the fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, I think the exact length of it is a detail to be worked out.
Yeah.
But the idea is that it would be longer. It'd start earlier in the day and go you kind of back into the firework aspect of it. That's when it's gotta be long enough to get to dark.
Right.
And we decide how early we want to start it. So does the committee have a preference on when it would start? 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, but it's.
I'd
I
say
think
that's for you.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that it's dependent on is how many bands you get.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you get a lot of bands, then we can, prolong the event and make that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other question I had for you, are we still thinking about the laser show?
It was gonna be the drone
The
show.
drones, I'm sorry, the drone show.
It's Travis and I talked about that. On the positive side, if you had the drone show, you've got 4,000 or 5,000 people there, and it'd be a nice thing for them to see.
Something unique.
Right. Travis already has been doing the fireworks show. It's about a half hour long, I think you said.
It's like 10-15 minutes.
Oh, 15 minutes. Okay, but Do we want to have both? No, so if you run the drone show at a separate event, where are you gonna have 4,000 or 5,000 people? No, I'm just saying that, so.
Are you recommending replacing the fireworks that year with the more expensive option of a drone show?
It's on the table. The rec department has had good success with the fireworks and, that's a topic to, that we could discuss and whether it makes sense to
Do you
have it.
One, who is it that covers the cost of the fireworks?
Friends of Supper, right?
So is it one donor or is it,
One donor
One
that
donor.
covers the whole fireworks show.
but I mean, one donor to Friends that covers?
For the whole event itself, no, we have like 5 or 6 sponsors for the whole event, but Friends of Supper Recreation covers the fireworks.
Right,
Yeah, it's up to the committee, whatever. I mean, I know Don had thrown out like January 1st, I think it was, or New Year's Eve one. I mean, I think you can't go wrong. I hate to see you put all your eggs in one basket for one event where you're supersizing the concert and fireworks where you want to spread it out throughout the year. I mean, ultimately, we'll work with you on whatever you want to do. And however you want to do it. I mean, we're gonna have summer nights regardless. We'd love to be a part of Tricentennial and have some sort of supersizing of the event in some way. However you guys want to do it, we will make it happen.
Well, based on what you guys were just talking about, involving me, I've done some more research and some of the towns have done, first night, or first day, which in this case would be Saturday.
Yeah, it's a weekend. I forget what it is. It's so late.
So first night is a Friday night. And then first day, some of the towns have had that where it starts in the afternoon with different events. And then it gets dark on like January 1st, January 2nd, gets dark very early. So some of the towns have had fireworks and at least one or two that I looked at had a drone show
Mhm.
on that. It might be a great idea. I think it is. I think we need to have something in early January. And the way the days are lined up, it's good. But getting volunteers to help put that on New Year's Day, if it's Saturday.
New Year's Day is Friday, the first is Friday in 2027, and the second is Saturday.
Okay, so it might be the second.
We could do it on Monday, which would be my birthday.
We'll keep that.
So John, how are you gonna get a substantial crowd together for the drone show if you do it, let's say you do it in
Gotta do
January?
something else.
It's like I said, it's summer nights, you already have an audience of 4,000 or 5,000 people. If it, I just don't know what people would show up for. And, if it was gonna be let's say it's a 20-minute show. I don't know how long they are. But is everybody gonna drive someplace and then look up at the, in the sky? Or is there already gonna be some winter carnival that's at night, that, I don't know, has skating, something else, and then you cap it off with this drone show. I just, kind of curious as to how that's where I ran into with,
Yeah.
how I think Michelle and I were looking at, we run a music festival at Chester Hill Farm, thinking we get 300 or 500 people there, and now, Travis's event already has 4,000 to 5,000, say, that's what we want to have.
I know, yeah, I think 300 or 500 would be a very successful music show.
Yeah.
Well, again,
We're not gonna get 5 bands to do 300 people.
the stuff I was looking at, I think one of the towns was on the ocean.
Yeah.
So they did the drone show high up over the ocean, which is visible from most of the town. So I don't know if that would work here, but Travis mentioned that he dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Well, some of the towns do that at noontime for the kids.
What time is Travis lighting the fire, the Christmas trees up?
Bonfire?
Yeah, the bonfire one.
We still have to do some research on that, but that would be a January event. Bonfire. I know you told me Groton does it, and but if you go to the Groton website, they talk, I think it says either sponsored by or performed or
One Boy
whatever,
Scouts.
by the fire department.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to, yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't have guys
Yeah,
like
you
that say,
can't.
hey, who's gonna like that? See what happens.
Maybe that's the mustard team there.
So I'm trying to think, was it New Bedford? It was just recently a town turn, and they did have a New Year's Eve bonfire. But you know, if the people are young, in their 20s, maybe 30s, they might not be hanging around Southland, they might be going to Boston first night.
Or away, that's
Yeah,
my
I
thought.
was-
Yeah.
Very challenging.
But later, you know, a little bit later into January, it might be a little bit better, but even have the like. Have the crane up at the town hall. 500 feet up, I don't know how many feet up, and drop the ball at noontime. And have, you know, similar to what we do with the pumpkins. At Heritage Day, something like, I don't know, but it just seems like an idea that might be something unique and do it once.
I have something to add to that. I feel that we need to do something as a kickoff.
Yeah, I
For
was
the
just thinking that
Tricentennial.
too. Drop
The other
ball on
part
the
is like,
Tricentennial.
it's a bad time because it's school vacation, but not everybody goes away. And there are some older people in town that don't go away. So I feel that we really do need to have something on
Something to
January
kick-
1st, just as a
kick
kickoff.
Yeah, you're
for
like,
the
people are in
Tricentennial.
Boston, but I'm like, what about us schmucks that stay home? Like, I'd come to, you know, light the Christmas trees on fire, let's go.
Is there an actual date that Southborough is incorporated?
Yes,
Yeah,
July, July 6/16, right?
So, you know,
It depends on which calendar you look
yeah.
at.
Again, my research has shown that the towns on that particular day that they were incorporated. They don't have a big blowout. Because
No,
it's usually a
I mean, like
weekday.
a-
yeah,
It's, I think it
So
was a
it'd be some
Tuesday.
type of an event, maybe on the town common, which would be July 6th, and that's a Tuesday. And just have a proclamation, have some kind of a public event. It wouldn't be too long or planned to be very big, but at least we would recognize that day in this town. So there's other towns out there that have done it. And not in a huge way, but just making sure that they do it.
yeah.
Wouldn't you be able to actually just push it to the following Saturday and say, in recognition of January 6th, which was our 300th,
July.
July 6th, sorry. Yeah,
Something else happened.
You know, you could just push it out a little bit. But
Yeah.
that way you could get more people to it.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we're doing two things in July, because first of all, we're doing some kind of incorporation day event, just what Don was just talking about.
Yeah.
But July 16th is the fireman's muster, and that is Jamie's gig.
I mean, we're looking for other things to do on the fireman's muster as well, on that date. I don't.
So
think
what else,
fireworks
it sounds like people are interested in the bonfire.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people are interested in something over that New Year's Eve, New Year's Day weekend.
Yes.
Because there's several days there where there's no school.
Right.
So we'll do some more research on what other towns have done that have been successful. But the Christmas tree thing is later in January,
Yeah, it's like mid-January.
middle of January.
Yeah. Not everybody.
Yeah.
Not everybody's like my household. where
Yeah, I don't
Christmas
throw
is-
No, I leave mine out till
Yeah.
February.
No. Christmas is over by my birthday.
It's
It goes with
spontaneous
the-
combustion
That's like the
with that.
saddest month is like February, March. So as long as you leave the Christmas tree out, it makes you feel a little better.
I don't think we answered Keith's question though about how do we, the timing for a potential drone show.
Yeah, well, you know, so that's kind of Andrew's gig, right? The
Oh.
drone show.
Okay.
And we, you know, at one point, before I was going down this path of, you know, working with the rec department, you know, saying well, that would be a good draw for a separate concert, standalone music festival, and then we end it with a drone show. If you could leverage that drone show for something else, because you have fireworks at summer nights, that's great. You could also do the drone show if we say, hey, we'd really like to put this in front of 4,000 or 5,000 people. because it's an expensive, kind of a feature, and we've got a donor for it, then you could maybe have both of them at, summer nights. You could do a drone show and fireworks, or just do one or the other. So it's really up to, I think Andrew needs to weigh in and say, what do I want to do with my drone show? Does he already have ideas? I was kind of lobbying for him to do it as part of music festival, because I said, hey, that'd be a nice cap, but fireworks works great too, The other thing I wanted to bring up about the music festival is there's one of the things, if we're going to have this, several bands, and it's a big event, I would like to look at bringing some kind of substantial stage in, whether it be a flatbed from Ted's or something else. There's a small stage at Neary right now, but if you're, even just having multiple bands, you might want to be setting up on one. So that's another opportunity for a sponsor to sponsor the stage and also get a lot of visibility, because it's going to be one of the bigger events. So I can bring that up with Ginny, and just, and the 501c3 group, if that's what you'd like me to do. But
So you got an idea there, Keith, where it would be a bigger stage. I guess other towns don't really have, other than like a bandstand, which is covered. If they don't have a permanent stage, like the one at Nary now is permanent. It's just a bunch of wood. It's a wooden platform, basically. One step and you're on the ground.
right.
Do they have portable big stages?
Well, I was actually down in Newport a few weeks ago, and they had a kind of a music festival down there on Broadway, and I took a picture of the stage that they had. It was a pretty substantial stage that they set up. This was just in the street. It wasn't like the permanent one at the folk festival or anything. But I think there's a fair amount of cost to having a professional stage built up. I haven't looked into it yet, but I assume that there is. But I think, you could also do something with the flatbed. You have to put some safety things in play, to make sure people don't fall off the stage. But that elevates the band a little bit, provides a fair amount of real estate for them to set up. And if you're going to have this number of bands, you also need to have in place some sound equipment that each band leverages, right? So you get it set up once, and now they've got they can plug all their equipment into the rest of the stuff. So I'm just throwing on the table that it's an opportunity for a sponsor, on the stage. We put signs up stage, sponsored by, music equipment sponsored by, whatever we want. So, like I said, I can mention it to Jenny.
Sounds like you're making really good progress.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty good skeleton here of everything, and then it's like everything else, it's working the details in. So, what bands are going to be there, who's going to, what are going to have for the stage. The great thing is that I think Travis and team has a pretty good playbook already, and we can leverage that. It's all around security, transportation, parking, all those logistics that we need to leverage. So that's why I'm excited about working with them. The other thing I have noticed recently, and maybe you've seen it around town, is the Metro West Transportation Authority has that trolley.
Yes.
Well, they have a bus service.
They have a trolley.
The one that stops on Central Street?
It's a green trolley, looks like an old town trolley, like a sightseeing trolley almost. And I've seen it multiple times over the last few weeks, which would be great to shuttle people if you could get them to, say you do the parking down by Route 9, and you say, well, bring them up and drop them off. And it's just keep an eye out for it. It's green, and it's like I say, it looks like one of those old town trolleys. Yeah. So last thing for me, I was requested to put together a kind of an expense policy document that I did send over to Vanessa and copied Don and Patty. It was just a a draft so that if people are gonna incur expenses, what's the process for getting approved, submitting it, that type of thing. Probably hasn't been. Since Nessa's not here, I don't know if you guys have had an opportunity to look at it, but it's there. So that was my last official committee.
Thank you
Amber.
for that. Thank you for doing that. And just to make it clear on record, like even though you're not on this committee, you're still gonna spearhead this for us and
Yeah.
just report in on updates, right?
Yes, Yeah.
Right.
happy
Thank
to do
you.
it.
Next item on the agenda is.
Oh, wait, do you have a
I
question?
just, I had a question about what the official title of the event was.
I know, we need something really good like Coachella
You,
or.
you mentioned
or-
community barbecue
Woodstock.
or.
I might have to get Travis in on this because it's his,
Music
That's a good one out there. I like
Well, it can't just be music festival, that's
Like-
boring.
No, well, first of all, we're leveraging this, we're working with the Summer Nights team. So,
Yeah,
Southborough Summer Nights featuring.
yeah. That'd be a good one. We can go with some creative stuff.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Something like.
We have to
you
get
know, you
together
hear
on that.
Coachella and you know what they're talking about, right?
Yeah, maybe we can give it a theme.
South by Southwest. Yeah.
Southborough's Got Talent, Summer Nights.
Yes, we need a
So
name.
people would.
Like, this summer nights, we just booked the summer nights band and they're called Below Deck, they're a yacht. Like
Yacht Rock?
Yacht rock band, so they dressed up in yacht wear. So I think this summer nights, we're gonna try to have like a yacht wear theme, and have some fun with it. So it's a big part you gotta have a theme,
Absolutely.
so, yeah,
All right,
fun,
all right. I'll make a note of that.
yeah,
She's a suggestion.
there you go.
Just a
Juliana's gonna perform
No, where's the festival?
at Neary Trotter Complex. Neary School?
How's it called? The land Southborough there on there, like, or,
Well,
I live in Fayetteville, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Me
Southborough?
too. No.
Is it? Oh,
It's all
okay.
in Southborough. So you know where the Trotter School is?
Yeah,
On
I
Parkerville Road?
No, I think so.
It's
If
the middle
it's the
school.
one I think, yeah, but if not.
It's the
Yeah.
one where there's two schools coming together
Oh, okay, okay,
between Parkerville and Deerfoot.
okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so it's there, and that area doesn't have like a real name. It doesn't have like,
An official name.
it doesn't have a special name
No,
different
not
than
really.
Southborough.
No, it's just,
The
no,
school.
it doesn't. It's just the Trotter Neary School.
I can get
Complex.
Mr. Trottier there if you wanna call it.
There you go.
But it's,
One
Or
of
your nights, summer nights.
yeah.
Southborough summer nights could be a provisional.
well, that's what it is
Well, that's
now.
what it is
So
already called.
they've been running that and
They've
we're
been
gonna
doing
try
that
and
for years.
But I
enhance it.
hear it would be nice something like Tanglewood, like, like something like,
Or
Yeah.
Woodstock.
We can go with something fun.
Charlie is not bad.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
keep thinking, Julie.
Okay.
Next.
No, I like your enthusiasm, right?
So drone show, we've already covered that, and that's, Andrew, I want to skip that. Unless there's something.
Yeah, I think we defer to Andrew, and if he's looking for a venue to run the drone show, that might be the right time to do it, or maybe he's got another opportunity. That might be a draw for you to do on something else too. But I'd like to get the drones in front of those people. Nice part of the event.
Next item is historic events, oral history project graveyard tour. Michelle.
So the oral history is continuing. The studio is up and running and Terry has been very gracious. And we had one interview last week that was really quite interesting. And it's a citizen who's been living in Southborough for 96 years.
Oh, wow.
And it was fascinating, just listening. So I sent out an email, Monday. Because I still have a list of people who had expressed, interest. So we're hoping to get something together again next week. Hopefully we can do more than one at a time. But last week when we did, we had two scheduled, but one couldn't find us. And that was also, he was 90 years old. And so anyway, it's really quite interesting just to listen to the stories of what Southborough was like I mean, born in Marlborough Hospital, grew up in Bayville, and, you know, just to find the history of Southborough, I never knew that there was an Italian section.
Oh, yeah,
Southborough.
literally up there.
Yeah, I mean, just listening to the stories is really amazing. I mean, he started working at 5 years old,
Oh my
5 years old
God.
on a farm.
Wow.
And I think that it's really a great way to get a real history out there, not just dates about buildings and, you know, just listening to these people, and it's amazing. So that's,
How many have been completed?
4. We're getting there,
Michelle,
yes.
when or if, do you think we could have video snippets from these to use as teasers on on our social media to promote other people contributing to oral histories, but also to promote the concept of what we're doing?
So the only thing with that, I don't have control because Terry and also Jocelyn, who's done some work in town too. They are actually the ones that are doing the editing. They're the ones that really are tasked with the brunt of the work. So I don't know what their schedules are like. They've worked with me. I mean, they've been really very gracious. The studio, like I said, was down for a while. And, you know, I throw out some dates, and Terry's been terrific. So I don't know about that, but I think that we should do something.
Is it possible to just throw that out to them? I mean, I'm thinking it's just like, you know, my name's so-and-so, I've lived in Southborough for 96 years,
I'm not
and
gonna run.
basically that's almost it.
So why don't we try before that? Why don't we try, I'll try to put something together to send out on social media and the newsletter and see. I mean, there are a lot of people that I have some ideas with. As a matter of fact, you know, just even to have some brothers and sisters together,
Yeah.
not just like one person, but like a family,
Right,
an old
sure.
family.
Need anything else from me today?
Thank you, Julie. Nice to meet
Okay,
you.
thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Anyway,
Travis will be in touch, all right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you.
So I do think it's a good idea for PR, but I hate to ask
Disrupt
them
their-
right
yeah.
now, right? Because they're
What's ultimately the platform where all this stuff is gonna be shared?
that is gonna be on YouTube.
But you-
YouTube. She has done something like that with the veterans in town,
And she won an
Nice.
award.
and she won an award for that. And
Beautiful.
yeah, I think maybe once we get through the next round, and if we don't have people, you know, stepping up, we'll get something out on social media. But maybe then we can sort of advertise with a
Mhm.
snippet
Okay. Just a thought for
Yeah.
down the road.
further down the road. Okay. And the other thing is the graveyard reenactment is also coming along really well. And we have 3 people on the working group. So that is Sally Waters, Debbie Costume, who is also the one who's interested in doing the Burnett, and also Karen Zelniak. And we had a meeting last week, and they're really excited about it,
I
and
think you're
they're
a very good
they're
group
doing the
there.
history, they're doing all the research.
Yeah.
And also, Skyrise Theater did reply to me, and they are going to work with us to try to provide us with some costumes.
That's great.
We have the characters chosen, and so we just have to then find the actors or actresses. And you know, initially I had thought the drama club would be really good for this, and I think that their idea is that there's enough talent in Southborough that we can actually get adults to do this. So those are 2 things that we need to get out to the public to try to sign up to.
Yeah. Well, plus you're gonna need docents to like
Oh,
lead
yeah.
the groups around.
Yes,
and-
yeah.
And
So
all
we
those
can
people need to be in costume.
Oh, okay. If we can get costumes. Anyway, I'm looking on Marketplace still for
But you know,
costumes.
sometimes it's just,
Cape.
yeah.
So things are progressing.
Yay.
Okay, house tour, we already covered that. Parade, parade has been on hold because of time and also resources. However, we're putting together a meeting before the end of the year. Hopefully, like the first week in December to reignite and start the momentum of putting together a parade.
So actually, hasn't been a dates. We haven't solidified that.
No,
It
it's
just-
the
We have,
it's Heritage Day of 2027, which is moved to Sunday because of Jewish holidays. So that would be,
I think it's the 10th. October 10th, I think.
yeah.
From the veterans side. I investigated trying to, and it takes some doing, it might include a letter from the committee, that type of thing, which you've mentioned. But trying to, put the feelers out to the Army National Guard band. It's a big enough event for the South Road, for them to maybe take notice, but you have to book them up almost a year and a half in advance, which I think we're like right on the edge of that kind of timeline, so.
We're see, 23 months,
So I mean,
23 months away.
yeah, if they're looking for 18 months. So, good, then we can get something together as a request, like a formal request from the committee to the National Guard band. I'll get the contact information.
That's not local.
No, it'd be like
It's like
the
the local
Massachusetts.
regiment of the,
Yeah, and actually the Massachusetts chapter of the Army National Guard band is like, is fairly prestigious.
that would be cool.
You know, they large events. Yeah, that'd be really neat. But we would have to have, we'd have to have that date solidified, be asking them for that.
That's the
So
date.
is Jamie gonna look into who to contact regarding that, or
yeah.
is that deferred to you, or what?
No,
I
you,
can definitely.
whatever you
Okay.
look
Yeah.
into, then just
Happy to do that.
share that with me
You got
and
it.
I'll share it with the parade group.
What is the date again? October what?
10/10.
It's a Sunday. I'm in the afternoon.
What about the
Wonderful.
Worcester Fight and Drum?
Oh, we have quite a list of
Okay,
potential
good.
Sure.
bands. I mean, this Westboro had the UMass marching band, which is 1,000 members. But that was because they were somehow connected to that, whoever decides that. But all of that will be tried. We'll see where it takes us.
Sure.
Move on to the next thing, the updates, brick fundraiser.
I don't have anything imperative to discuss.
Fundraising, myself and Patty and Ginny on the fundraising working group had our second little 3-person meeting. When was it, last week? Saturday. That was last Saturday. Saturday.
Is it Saturday or Friday? Oh my God, I don't know. Yeah, Saturday, sure.
So, getting further clarity on the fundraising, fund management and fund disbursement process. Few updates, but it's good. And I think the three of us agreed to keep these little pop-up meetings going so that the fundraising part of this whole celebration is keeping our committee informed of how they're doing, raising the funds. And then we in turn would keep them informed as to what we think the costs are gonna be related to the things that we wanna do. That was an excellent meeting too, by the way. All right, the newsletter, anything on that one, Patty?
Not this time.
Other matters properly before the committee. They approved the expense policy. I don't think.
So
we-
I'm confused about that. I think that Vanessa put this in as the expense policy, but this is only related to accessing the $30,000 that the town has set aside for us. And our real intention is not to use that.
Yeah.
So since this is the only thing that was in the packet for discussion, I don't think this is applicable at this time and would like to table that.
Okay, and then the banners. I thought you were gonna bring those tonight.
Oh, it's in my car.
It's worth it. We'll take a 2-minute break. It's worth it.
I
You
forgot.
guys gotta see these banners.
Did you establish a process or procedure for submitting suggested sponsors?
That's what
I-
Keith had drafted and we have seen, but I think that the plan was for it to go to town council.
Okay, I see.
I'll be right back.
Yep. It's worth the time up. Eric, I think we know each other from a long time ago. You said you're something boy, the youngest boy, you know, he's 29. My kid is too, so I think when those kids were like, they later something. I coached soccer teams a lot. Maybe that's what it was. You know, he was on there with like Paul Kirk. Remember him?
Yeah,
He coached soccer. That was a team that my kid was on. So maybe that's how I'm,
yeah, because I coached both my sons and my daughter's soccer teams. Well, as long as they played, my daughter played all the way through high school. I didn't get to coach high school team for us. They had professional.
Yeah.
But
Right, but it's all accessible.
yeah, that was fun.
So any.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, this guy looks familiar. And then once you said the 29, you clicked on
Is
it.
available.
I said, you and I have
Yeah.
shared fields.
Yeah.
Kids.
I
I didn't get coaching.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's,
Yeah,
all right, yeah. I wanted to say that. So,
Just
thank
there
you.
and staff.
yeah, well, thank you
And
as well.
No voice,
actually
no
realized
vote.
too that they
You're sitting up here at the next meeting.
And the displays.
I'm gonna jump to that. If, why don't you, can you stick around for a minute? We're gonna pick the date for our next meeting. Okay, sure. It'll be here. But you guys wanna think about, a date for our next meeting? Cause,
Yeah,
Eric's gotta get going, but hopefully he'll be sitting at the table. So we gotta make sure that we're all,
I would prefer to do earlier in December, the 10th. Right, it looks like the 10th or the 17th are the 2 dates proposed. On the agenda.
Okay.
Earlier December is always
Yeah,
easier.
let's get it out of the way, right? I mean.
you guys are leaning on the 10th.
Sure.
Yeah,
Make the motion, I'll
Yeah,
second.
that's okay for me.
of the 10th. Oh,
We're trying to, we're gonna let Eric go, but so we wanna pick a date for our next meeting. December 10th is. Everyone's available on December 10th. Can you check that?
with the whole
I'm
thing.
fine.
Okay,
Yeah, I think it's fine.
all right, we'll make that official when we.
Sure.
when we vote, but you're free to go.
All right, great. Great meeting, everybody.
Nice to meet you too.
So how many more sponsors are gonna be on that?
Well, okay, so. What I was thinking is we could tape it onto here, so it's on the camera.
Okay. Or do you want to just hold it up so everyone? I'll hold it up. Because we're probably about to stop.
We are, but.
This is what you've solidified so far. Is there?
Right.
Is room for growth there or is that?
There's room for growth, so. There's a couple of things that we're talking about in regard to the others.
Do you want,
Yeah.
sounds good.
So we're talking about display banners. Thanks, Eric.
Yes, thank you all.
There, you can see it. So the banners. There's 3 concepts we're looking into banners. One is this. Where it's gonna have all current sponsors. And we're trying to get permission to put banners like this on municipal property. So think 85 at the corner of the DPW of the transfer station. Maybe the hill in front of town hall, something like that. This would feature all the main sponsors. And second concept is for our larger sponsors. We would, in order, the dual purpose here is to provide recognition for those sponsors. But really to promote the Tricentennial, because there's still a lot of people that don't know anything about it. But the more that they see it, it'll stick in the mind. So the second part is to offer this to sponsors to do a banner for them that they could put on their building. And basically it would say the same thing, but proudly sponsored by and just their logo.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, it's
Third thing is if you've driven through Marlboro and Hudson, those areas, on the telephone poles, they do vertical banners that are about this high by this
Yeah.
big.
no.
Yeah.
And theirs are for hometown heroes.
Sure.
So I'm trying to work on getting permission to do those. And there would be two versions of them. Primarily in the downtown historic district on the light poles. And some of them would just be generic for the Tricentennial. Maybe would have like an old picture of something in Southborough. You know, kind of like the then now thing. And some of them would say the Tricentennial proudly sponsored by and one sponsor's logo. So it's a combination of just promotion for the Tricentennial and promotion for the sponsors.
Sure.
And right now, we're just dealing with maybe in the historic area of Southborough.
Okay.
And those, the concept is those would be up for all of 2027, potentially starting in 2026.
Wow, sure.
So I've spoken to Mark Robideau who's the building inspector, who is the one that. And he frankly is a little confused on what permission we need,
Well,
because temporarily.
temporary
Yes.
signage, so, you know,
Temporary
banner's
signage,
temporary, so pop it up.
well, the
and-
temporary signage is supposed to be 30 days.
Yeah,
We don't want that just for 30
Yeah.
days.
So we get
So
a
he's looking
variance?
into the bylaw and whether we just go to the select board and seek an exemption to that for this one specific event.
Yep.
That covers 2027.
Yep.
The sponsor banners, I would like to start doing those in 2026, because those people have already spent money with us.
Right.
They need to get some bang for the bucks.
Yeah, it also opens up opportunities for other sponsors to
Right.
get, other businesses to get involved.
Yes, when they see it and recognize, you know, the logo and everything, and you know,
Sure.
that it's on the side of somebody's building with a logo, their logo.
What level sponsor is getting like to this banner?
Well, at the time that we produced this, which was for Heritage Day. Falcone was 25,000, the three underneath are 10,000. My expectation is these main banners that are going to have all the sponsors are gonna have to be changed fairly quickly. Now, the fundraising, they are hoping that within 6 months max, they're gonna have all the sponsorship laid out for the Tricentennial. So then,
The big ones.
right, the big ones, yeah, the big ones, yeah, the ones that would have a logo on something like this. So after that, these are set and not done. We were just printing these to kind of get
Yeah.
the ball rolling on the concept rolling. But, you know, it's fairly cost effective. They're,
Oh, sure, yeah, no, I was just wondering if then. Those that maybe went on to like a telephone pole are a particular next level. You know,
Still a
if it's
concept.
here, right, no, I know.
I mean, I literally just had the conversation with Mark Robideau like 3 days ago, so. I mean, that's just the idea of another way to promote the Tricentennial and kind of call out the historic downtown as being a little special.
Yeah, I love the idea of the historic banners in downtown.
Boy, but what?
The sponsor
Oh.
banners for like on the telephone poles downtown, I don't know, I feel. Yes, I'm still a little bit mixed about that. I love them on these.
No, it would have the
banners.
Tricentennial logo
Yeah, no, I know.
and feature that, but also some sponsor.
Yeah,
The downtown would be, as Patty says, the main or the initial focus But hopefully if this becomes, a lot bigger, we would certainly have them in other villages in the
Yeah,
town.
it's totally
Central
conceivable.
Street, train station.
We also have to have permission from the utilities to do it. So there's a little bit of logistics and, you know, you have to have somebody that's gonna install them and blah, blah, blah. So
So, sorry, just, because I feel like maybe I didn't wrap my head around the telephone pole banner idea. So it's like Tricentennial logo, history thing, and then just like a sponsored by, it's not the actual, like, it wouldn't be like as featured
hasn't-
business logo.
we have, this is all concept. Okay, nothing has been decided. We're just throwing out these ideas. The thought process was that some are, the main feature is the Tricentennial logo. And then a sponsored by. And some, the main feature is a historic photo with the Tricentennial logo as smaller.
Got it, okay.
But like I said, it's just it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, a concept that's 2 weeks old.
Right, yeah,
Being,
sort of
Flushed out.
focused now where to put banners.
yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
And that's it.
Excellent.
No, looks good.
Any other things, other matters properly before the committee? If not, we can move on to the next meeting date, and I think everybody was cool with December 10th. Do you know, Travis, or know how to find out if this room is available?
I don't have access to that, I'd check with police. Usually we have to go through them to make sure it's available or not.
Yeah, but when Vanessa was here, she's able to, she has access to it, but I guess she will.
She's got administrative clearance that I do not have,
Okay.
but I will, I can certainly. If you want to email Vanessa tomorrow and ask her, if it's not,
Yeah, we have plenty of time.
Yeah, so we know when it'll be, we'll just firm up as to where it's gonna be. December 10th. If there's nothing else,
I move we adjourn.
Second that.
motion's been made and seconded, any discussion, hearing none, all in favor, I'll adjourn.
A good meeting.
it looks like it's open.
You have a way to,
Counteract that administrative.
I do not.
Securities.
Count.
Are we off?
yeah, are we off?
We are. And